He was just a grease-stained mechanic with calloused hands and a broken past. But when a billionaire's wheelchair-bound daughter rolled into his tiny garage, one impossible promise escaped his lips. "I don't know how yet, but I think I can help you walk." What happened next would challenge fate, money, science, and the meaning of miracles. Stay till the end, because no one expected who would end up saving who. The rain had been falling since dawn, tapping relentlessly against the rusted tin roof of Samir Khan's auto repair shop. The garage sat at the edge of the city, forgotten like the man who ran it. Oil stains darkened the concrete floor, tools hung unevenly on cracked walls, and a flickering fluorescent light buzzed like it might give up at any second. Samir wiped his hands on an old rag, his knuckles scarred from years of hard labor. This garage was all he had left after life took everything else. Once Samir had dreams beyond engines and broken transmissions. He had studied mechanical engineering with a focus on biomechanics, fascinated by how machines and the human body shared the same principles: balance, leverage, motion. But when his wife died suddenly and hospital bills buried him in debt, dreams became luxuries he could no longer afford. He dropped out, sold everything, and opened this small garage just to survive. That morning the sound of a luxury car pulling up felt out of place, like a diamond dropped into the dirt. A sleek black vehicle stopped outside, followed by another. From the first car stepped a sharply dressed man in his 40s, Imran Ashcroft. Though Samir didn't know the name yet, he was a billionaire industrialist whose face appeared regularly on business magazines. From the second car, a driver gently unloaded a wheelchair. In it sat a young girl, no older than 12. Her name was Alina. Her legs were thin and motionless, resting quietly as if they didn't belong to her body. But her eyes, those eyes were alive, curious, observant, revealing a spark that refused to be dimmed. Imran's voice was controlled, but heavy. He explained that their car had broken down unexpectedly, and every major service center had turned them away due to storms and overload. This garage was the last option. Samir nodded, got to work, and said little. But Alina watched him closely. She noticed how carefully he handled each tool, how he crouched and adjusted angles like a sculptor. At one point, she spoke softly. "Do you build things, or fix them?" she asked. Samir smiled faintly. "Both. Fixing is just rebuilding with what's left." Something in her expression shifted. While Samir worked, Alina's wheelchair sat near a pile of discarded mechanical parts, springs, rods, gears. Her eyes lingered there. She asked question after question. Why this gear moved that way, why springs mattered, why balance was important. Samir hesitated, then answered, slowly, carefully. For the first time in years, he felt his old passion stirring. Before leaving, Alina asked one last question, her voice barely above a whisper. "Do you think machines can help people walk?" The garage went silent. Imran stiffened. Doctors had tried everything. The injury to Alina's spine from a childhood accident was deemed irreversible. Hope had been replaced by acceptance, or so he thought. Samir looked at Alina, not her legs, but her eyes. "I don't know," he said honestly. Then after a pause, "But I think they can help people try." Alina smiled. That night, Samir couldn't sleep. His mind raced with sketches, ideas, memories from abandoned textbooks. For the first time in years, he pulled out his old notebooks, yellowed with time. He began drawing braces, support frames, mechanical systems. It wasn't medical. It wasn't perfect. But it was something. He didn't know why he did it. He only knew he couldn't stop. What if the one man who had nothing left was the only one who still believed in possibility? When the billionaire returned, not with money, but with desperation, one risky decision would put everything on the line. And when Alina stood for the first time, the truth behind the miracle would break every heart in the room. 3 weeks later, the black car returned. Samir was under a car when he heard it. His heart pounded not with fear, but with anticipation. Imran stepped out. Exhaustion etched into his face. Alina followed, her wheelchair rolling slowly into the garage like it belonged there. "I couldn't stop thinking about what you said," Imran admitted. "My daughter hasn't either." Samir swallowed hard. He showed them what he'd built. It wasn't pretty. A rough, prototype exoskeletal brace made from lightweight steel, shock absorber, and adjustable joints built with scraps, late nights, and stubborn hope. Samir made it clear. This wasn't a cure. It wasn't guaranteed. It might not work at all. Imran looked at the machine, then at his daughter. Alina nodded without hesitation. The fitting took hours. Samir adjusted every joint, every strap, hands shaking. Alina winced sometimes, but never complained. When it was time to try, The garage felt like it was holding its breath. Samir stood in front of her. "We stop the moment you want." Alina gripped the bars. "Don't stop," she said. With assistance, she leaned forward. The machine responded. The joints locked, the support activated. And then she stood, just for a second, then another. Her legs trembled violently. Tears streamed down Imran's face. Samir held his breath, afraid to blink. Alina took one small step. Then she collapsed, laughing through tears as Samir and Imran rushed to her side. "I felt it," she cried. "I really felt it." News spread quietly at first. Doctors were skeptical, engineers curious. Imran offered Samir money, a lab, a team, but Samir refused payment. "Just promise me something," he said. "Don't let hope become a product only the rich can afford." Months later, with proper medical collaboration, the design improved. Alina learned to walk short distances with assistance. Not perfectly, not always, but enough. At the unveiling of a new rehabilitation center funded by Imran but named the Khan Project, Samir stood in the back, uncomfortable in a clean shirt. Alina walked onto the stage with her braces, slow but steady. She looked straight at him. "This didn't start in a hospital," she said. "It started in a broken garage, with a man who fixed machines and reminded us that people aren't broken. They're just waiting for someone to believe." Samir wiped his eyes. He never became famous, but every time a child stood up for the first time, somewhere in the world, a miracle quietly began again. Inspiring message: sometimes the greatest miracles aren't built with money, power, or perfection, but with belief, patience, and a heart that refuses to give up on what others call impossible. If you stayed till the end, remember this: hope doesn't come from wealth, it comes from people.